So the storytelling component was something that I really worked hard on, and I have continued to work hard on for almost probably 6 years. So when I started Gym Launch and I had to start teaching, basically when I had to start teaching, I realized that teaching was making connections between things that people understand and things that they don't. And so that's why metaphors and analogies are so strong, because they're like, okay, so energies, so you're kind of like a car. And if you put your gas in, it's kind of like your body. And the food, you know what I mean? So it's like, I understand this, but I don't understand this, but I can apply the same principles. And so when I realized that I used to just kind of like lecture people on like jargon, right? Their eyes would roll over and I just didn't get the desired result. So I had to start learning, like, so then I started reading books on how to tell stories. And the TLDR on like how to tell a story is just, you have a character, you have an unmet desire, you have an obstacle, you have a guide who comes in with some sort of solution. The person tries the new way, it works, and then there's an internal achievement and an external achievement, meaning like who did they become in the process and what happened on the outside. And so like I just pretty much just try and think through that process of like desire, unmet desire, obstacle, guide, plan, execution, result.
You have stories about you, and then you have your customer stories. You should have both. You should always have that in marketing. Because they're wondering, who are you, and then who of your customers are succeeding? That's what they're wondering. So if you can share both, and that can be in your marketing, imagine like your content sequence. Remember we talked about those 12 email sequences that we're going to write as a 3-day incubator, right? Well, those 12 emails, how beautiful would those emails be of like, hey, let me share with you a tip about wine today. And then there's a little video of your story about your friend. You know? And it doesn't have to be a video where you take it long and you produce it. You could just tell the story in the email. And then here's the tip that my friend learned. I want to pass it on to you. Then the second content video is a story about you. I remember when I first started in this business and I was passionate about it. I thought I knew whatever's real for you. You tell your story. Now in the second email, they know something about you. Third email is a customer again. And now you just told 3 stories in your email promotion. So that is such a powerful tool that most people don't use in storytelling, dialogue. I'm sitting there at the table and I look at my dad, I'm like, hey, what happened the other day at the office? Right, that gets people into the present moment of a conversation. And you should absolutely always use that in your storytelling. So whatever the pit moment was like, I'm like sitting there on the floor, and I remember looking up and seeing the ceiling, and I was like, there was this thing just dangling from the ceiling. And it went all the way down to the ground. It was like 1 inch from the floor. And I was like, what the hell is that? Now, I don't even know what that is. I'm just making it up for you guys. Right? But see, you can paint a picture of something, and you can talk, and I'm thinking to myself, and that's an inner dialogue. I'm thinking to myself, what is that? You know, and it goes all the way down. I'm like, Jesus, it's 1 inch from the ground. I've never seen anything like that before. You know? So those types of things in story, and you notice he does it in that video. I turn to my wife, and it'd be nice to know how much we made. It instantly puts you into the story. You know? And that's got components of it of why it works, is it talks about the transformation. It talks about the search from the first event to the second event. It talks about the question on his mind of, I'm no longer worried about whether this will work or not. That's what the customer's thinking. It's brilliantly compiled. Jonathan Otto is the one who did these videos with me and helped me create these for my launch. But it's brilliantly comprised. It's the story of it, you see? And so it doesn't need to be long. And you could say, well, it's the aesthetics of it and the music, but it's the communication. The communication is spot freaking on, man. And it's very short. So that's how you get a 90-second story. So how can you do that with your own personal story? You just follow the formula. Hit, search, break. And so one of the things that I've learned on the journey is, whatever you want to do, go do it. And I believe, this is my point of view, there's no such thing as like, I'm an engineer and that's what I am. Or even I'm an actor and that's what I am. Or I'm a speaker and that's what I am. Or I'm a marketer and that's what I am, right? My personal belief is I'm a spiritual being who can do anything I want and create anything I want. And so that I firmly know. And so, for whatever is true for you, go do it. You have the capability, you have the ability, you know you do, otherwise you need to bring it up. And go do it, you know? And don't apologize for your truth or for your dreams, because unfortunately we live in a world where there are a lot of naysayers.
People always say, do too much, I have too much going on.
Yeah, but whatever. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You're excited.
It always comes across like very negative.
Well,
and I always feel like, well, I gotta hide as much as shit that I'm doing because I don't want my family, friends to think I think I'm all that or anything or better than anybody.
You are.
I cannot. I feel like if I don't create, so I'll die. Like it won't even be a thing.
I get it. I get it. Do the things you want to do. There's plenty of time.
You can do that as a business concept.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at your life or your business and you're like, this doesn't fit, then just expand the vision. If it doesn't fit, you're like, this doesn't, no, expand the vision. Make the vision as big as you want, and then everything fits. And everything makes sense. And the reason it makes sense is because it's your life and it's your story to tell. So if you think this matches up with this, then damn it matches up with this. If you think you want to do it this way because it's true for you, then damn it, it's true that way. Do it, and go have fun and enjoy it. It's just too much of a fixed, like, hey, I'm going to play this role this lifetime. Like, I'm going to play whatever role I want. And it's funny, Team Indy was here. He's like, man, like I see you with Facebook ads, but this thing up that you did here was like, this is your calling. And I just believe in playing games and having fun. And I believe that it's good to create nice effects in the world. And I think art is a very, very, very beautiful thing. And I think it's important to create nice effects with art. So I go do it, And it's work, and it takes time, and it takes courage, but I'm not going to sit here and say that art is my passion. It ain't. It's a means to an end. So it's not my passion we can be this good at it. I do it so I can do all these other things as well and create all these types of impacts. I do seminars because I love people impacts. My body's been hit by like 4 Mack trucks over the weekend, you know what I'm saying? And Dr. 100, bless her, she's going to come up soon. She takes care of my body. She does phenomenal chiropractic and health work because that's a part of being an entrepreneur. It's so important that you take care of your body. So have fun with it, storytelling, and there's an idea that storytelling sometimes people think doesn't belong in a business. Are you kidding me? Like, how do you communicate anything without telling a story? Like, data is data. Data comes to life in a person. And a person has a life that is a story. So if you take data or a product and you match it with a person, then you have a story. And you have something interesting. With no person or no story to tell, there's nothing interesting. The AI is totally uninteresting unless people are using it. There's a story. Right? AI is hard to understand too, so it's one of these things that if people aren't comprehending things, tell them a story and it'll get them past the things they don't understand to some degree. So the facts tell, stories sell. So in terms of putting it into your emails or whatever, just know the framework. And if you know the framework of PIT, search, breakthrough, right? And then you can put those things into actually stories and videos. Sorry, videos and emails. All right, emails, you can just write it. You can write it in a few lines. Okay, even in a story, if you're doing a sales video, you can tell a story and say, I don't know, somebody give me your product. Or your product, right? What's the price point?
200 for the wine course and membership.
Great. So you could say, you could be doing a video and say, hey, so for you wine lovers out there, or those of you who are interested in wine but might feel a little bit uncertain because you go to a restaurant and sometimes you order and you feel like you don't know anything about wine, I'm talking to you too. So what I'd like to talk to you about is how to become a wine lover and how to really enjoy the experience of wine today. I have this beautiful membership course that I'm going to talk to you about steps of really experiencing the art of wine, of being able to taste the deliciousness of wine, of experience wine experiences with your friends, of traveling to the best places on the planet to do wine, and having the greatest wine shipped to your house. Now I know what you're thinking, right? I know nothing about wine. It's okay, let me tell you about Patricia, right? Patricia was at a restaurant, she's sitting there at the table, and this guy brings over this really expensive bottle of wine. And in fact, she doesn't even know what he's called, but it's some French word, right? And so the guy comes over, he puts the thing down, and it takes the cork out, and she starts licking the cork. And she has no concept that she's supposed to smell the cork or smell the wine or whatever she's supposed to do. She feels foolish. But she sees all her friends talking about wine and taking these trips to Napa Valley, and they're like, what the heck, man? I want to do that too, and she's thinking. And so she comes to me, I tell her about my course, she takes it. In the first module alone, she has this realization of, oh my God, this could be fun. oh my God, I learned something about how to go do this at a restaurant. And then she did the second module and she learned how to go into a store and sound like intelligent about wine because it's simple. And then she started ordering collections and traveling around the world. Now she dines at the finest restaurants out there. And everywhere she goes, she's enjoying the beauty and the art of wine. If you want that in your life too, and you want to spice your life up with wine, then you should take my membership course now. By the way, this is who I am, right? And you put a little blurb about you. I've sold over 2,000 courses. I've had people come through and they've said this, and this. If you want to be my next success story or my next wine lover, click down below. I'd love to have you inside the training. Right? Okay? And if you're still thinking this isn't for me, well, you think again, because I'm giving you a no-brainer deal down below and you can get it only on this page, and you can get 74% off the original offer. And you're wondering what my guarantee is? Well, I guarantee if you get in the wine game, you'll love it. You know? And you'll start to love life again, and you'll enjoy the beauty of it. Right? So, hey, and if you want to bring your partner on board too, I got a special membership down below, so when you're checking out, you can click for 50% off, and get your partner involved, and now you get almost a 2-for-1. See you inside the training. Click now. Right? And then you might go, still here? What are you waiting for? Right? You're either enjoying a glass of wine right now or you're thinking about it, but I'll tell you what, unless you get inside this training, you're never going to have the best wine in the world. I know that's why you're still here at the end of the video, so what are you waiting for? Just take your credit card out, put it down, and before you know it, you'll be enjoying wine experiences all over the world, and most importantly, from the comfort of your own home, because I'll ship you the best cases on the planet. There you go, right? You're around, right? So that is pitching your video, right? So what we're going to do there is create videos like this. And you have sales videos that are calling people to take the action you want them to take. So these are the experiences we're going to be creating with you during that day. I will help you create these. Obviously, you can sit down with me and realize I can do these things in minutes, you know? And then we can capture what I say with ChatGPT. We can literally have ChatGPT listening while I'm talking. Then it can transcribe it, we can get it printed out, we can look at it, we can edit it, and we can go, let's change this, and that, and then we'll get the product that we want. It's better that I do it for you, right? And do it faster so that you have a really good frame, and then we can touch it up and we can look at anything that we missed in the formula, right? But one of the components in the formula of a video like that is story. And you'll notice we put it in 2 places. 1, client success story. 2, at the end, a little bit about you. And we could flip that either way. We could put a little bit about you first, because they're probably wondering, hey, you're probably wondering, who am I? Well, I'll tell you, I've sold thousands of memberships. You know, and this is what this client says, and this client says, and this client says. So you can do it, and you can bullet point the success stories like that, but it'd be really good if you're going to have a 10-minute video to have kind of just a nice story where you drop in, it's like 60 seconds, you know, in that 10-minute framework, and you just kind of tell the story and you keep it interesting and fun. And while you're telling the story, you're kind of seeding the membership, you know? Okay? So, because you can tell a story and kind of drop out of it and be like, yeah, that's why you should be in this membership right now. Okay, back to the story, right? There you go. There's so many things you can do to get creative with it. But putting in your client successes and putting in your successes is important to make this happen. All right?
Yeah.
So if you're serious about scaling your business online and you want help with my one-to-many selling method to sell on podcasts or webinars or virtual stages or in person, then click the link down below and book a free strategy call. My coaches will help you implement it. We've worked with over 30,000 businesses on these very same strategies. Click it down below and go book. See you soon.